Right out of the box, Canvas is not that nice to look at. However, there are some simple things that you can do using tables to make your pages look like this one or like this one. I'm going to get started here in my sandbox class, and I'm going to go right over to modules and open up the Meet Your Instructor page. So I've got this one designed, it's kind of nice-ish. I've got my photo and I've got some information and then ways to reach me. But I'm going to put this into a table format to make it so much better. Let's start by editing. So I'll click that edit button, and I'm just going to give myself a little bit of room. Let me put my cursor on the left side of that photo and then hit enter. So I've got some room up above, and then we'll make this look way nicer. Now up above, I really want to have my picture and then my bio info right next to each other. So I'm going to create a table that has two cells. So with my cursor right where I want that table to be, I'm going to go to Insert and then choose Table. And I just want two cells for this table. We'll do some that have more. Okay, so just two cells. I am just hovering over the number of cells that I want, and then I'll click to select those. It's kind of skinny and it doesn't quite have the layout that I want. I can resize my table by hovering over the border. So if I hover over the border in the middle, my cursor changes, allowing me to click, hold, and drag to get that to a size that I want. Now I'm going to go ahead and copy my photo. So just clicking on it, and then I'm going to do a Control-C to copy. You could also do a Command-C if you're on a Mac. And then I'm going to click inside my table and do a Control-V or Command-V. Okay, so I've got my photo there. Let me delete it from here. And I'm going to do the same thing with my bio information. So let me just copy this, Control-C or Command-C, and then I'm just going to put my cursor into the other cell and then do a Control-V. So it's looking already so much better. I do like the white space between my photo and the About Me information, so I'm not going to realign what I've got in this first cell. And I actually like the way that this cell is aligned as well. If you wanted to do some realigning, you can click in the cell that you want and then go to your realignment tool to align those. You can also change the alignment up and down in individual cells by making sure you're clicked in the cell, and then go to the table menu and then cell properties, and it allows you to change both the horizontal alignment and the vertical alignment. Now I like where mine is, but what I really want to change, let me click off of this, I do not want the border on here. So I'm going to select my table by just clicking on it. So I've got my table selected, and I'm going to go to Table, and then I want Table Properties. So Table Properties, see that border width right there? I'm going to change that border width to a 0, and then let's click Save. Okay, so take a look. We can see those little dotted lines, but if I do a save, so you can see what it looks like for the student, you'll notice that those lines are completely gone. Okay, so it's looking better. Let's go back into Edit. I can get rid of this. And then I want to organize my How to Reach Me information. So I've got 3 different options for my students. Stop by during my office hour, send me a message via the Canvas inbox, or click the Ask Your Instructor button in their online homework. This would be so much more engaging and easier to navigate if I had 3 columns with a heading for each of those. So right underneath How to Reach Me, so I'm going to put my cursor right here, and so I'm underneath How to Reach Me. I'm going to put in a table that's got 3 columns and 2 rows. I want the first row to be a heading row, and then the next row to have the information in it. Okay, so I want to do Insert a Table again. So Insert Table. I want 1, 2, 3, and then 2 rows. So just choosing that format, then I'll click. Okay, so I've got it here, and I'm just going to start by putting some headings here. So their first choice is office hours. Tabbing over, their second choice is the Canvas inbox, and the third choice is homework questions. I do want to center align these, so I'm going to highlight these 3 cells, and then with my alignment tool, just choosing center align for all of those. Now, if your alignment tool doesn't show up, you might need to click on the 3 dots to reveal more tools up there. I'm going to unclick those 3 dots. Okay, so far so good. Let's get the office hour information in here. So I'm just going to copy, I'm going to do a Control X this time to just get rid of it. and then Control V. I also don't want that bullet point. Okay, so stop by my office hours, and I'm going to put an enter here. I'm located in Wenatchee Hall, and then my office number. I can also do a Control Enter here to get it better aligned. And let's also align this center. Okay, so many design options now. I'm going to add some color to this table here in a minute, but let's populate it first. Next is the Canvas inbox. So I've got the instructions here. So Control C to copy. I could have done a Control X, I guess, and then Control V. I also have an image. So let's copy this image and put that into the cell as well. So I'm going to do a Control X to cut, and then I'm going to arrow after that information, and then a Control V. Okay, so there's that. I do not want that bullet point there. Let's just X out of that. Perfect. And I do want this to be center aligned. So using my alignment tool and get that one to center aligned. Okay, great. And then finally, homework questions. So they've got a ask your instructor button. I'm going to copy that. So I'm going to do a Control C over to my table, Control V. I also have an image with this one as well. Let's click on it. I'm going to copy and then paste it below, and then Control V. It also copied over that bullet point. I'm going to back arrow so the bullet point is gone. And let's also center align this photo. So center align the photo. Okay, I'm going to use the array of dots here at the bottom just to give myself a little more real estate. Let's get rid of all the stuff that I copied. And I don't want that last bullet point there. Okay, and let's make this look a little bit better. So each of these right now are centered vertically, but that first one does not look great. I want my office hour information to be aligned at the top of that cell. So I'm going to click in the cell and then table, cell properties, and I want this vertical alignment to be at the top, and then save. Okay, that looks better. And then I also want to add some color to the background of these. So I'm just clicking, dragging to highlight. Let's add some colors. And then let's go up to table, and I want cell properties because I don't want to apply the background color to the entire table. So I want table, cell properties, and then under advanced, you've got some options for your border color and your background color. I want the background color. I'm going to click here, and it gives me some pre-formatted options. You can also click on the little artist tool to get tons and tons of options. I'm going to cancel, and I'm just going to choose one of my pre-formatted options, something that's pretty light so I have a good contrast. I'm going to choose this one and then save. Okay, finally, I really want these bold just because I do, and I'm going to make these bold. Let's take a look and see how this looks. Let's click save. And it is so much better with those tables. There's more to learn about tables, and to do that I want to show you how else I've used tables in my courses. So let's go to one of my actual courses, and one of my tabs over here is Homework Help Solution Videos. This is a purely online class, so when my students ask me a homework question, I respond with a homework video, which is what all of these links are. Now if I had a new homework video that I wanted to add, I would do this. So I'm going to hit edit. You can already see some of the formatting that I've used, but let's say that under homework 1A, I wanted to add a video for question number 7. I want to add a brand new row underneath question number 5. So I'm going to click the row where question 5 lives, and notice that you've got these tools that have popped up, and this middle one right here is to insert row after. So let's go ahead and click on that one. And I'm ready to type in number 7. Last but not least, I also use tables to organize things on my homepage. You'll notice that I've got some buttons to help students navigate to different places. And these actually live in a table, which is a great way to line things up. I would love to know how you use tables or other design tools in your Canvas class. I'll see you next time.